tell me a little bit about your thoughts of trends in the marketplace in terms of technology trends and sort of how it fits into the realities of what organizations should be doing in their digital transformations.
Well, in order to become more optimal in how to plan and manage a business, I don't think adding new trendy technology is the way to go. It's about, in order for technology to work, because technology is only good if it works, right? So you have to look internally in the organization. Where is the organization at in terms of their digital mindset? And is that digital mindset available across the company, top down, right? And what I focus on is enabling that digital mindset in the organization. So can companies or anyone or key people in the organization, can they take a process that the company is currently using or it's part of their working process? Can they translate that on pen and paper in terms of data structure and data flow? If the company can achieve that, then we're able to implement new technologies, first of all. Because if it doesn't work on pen and paper, and it's not robust enough, and it doesn't meet the end-to-end process, then you have a problem, because it won't work. It won't work when you're implementing a solution or a program. So when we're talking about agile and all that earlier, how I approach implementing a solution is really, it's like I take an engineering point of view. It's like building a bridge, right? You're not gonna go on and agilely build a bridge, right? You gotta build your blueprint. You gotta make sure your blueprint meets all the environmental conditions. You have to do force testing across every part of the bridge, make sure it can support the load that's required. And to do that, you got to do that on pen and paper first, and get agreement across the organization that that's the best way to go. And that's part of the readiness piece that we often do with our clients before they actually invite or ask the solution integrator to come in and start rolling out the solution.
Yeah, absolutely. And you look at, you mentioned, for example, that you've been implementing technology for a long time. You talked about JD Edwards, and you've seen the evolution of technology over the years and some of the changes in technology. And I think that what's interesting is how fast technology changes and how much growth has happened in the technology space. But at the same time, organizations and their ability to change hasn't really kept up. So in other words, if you're a company that you have enough trouble just implementing a basic GL system or a basic inventory management system, it's not going to do you any good to now try to pile on a bunch of other new technologies on top of that when you can't even get the basic fundamentals implemented well. So it's sort of like you have to learn to walk before you run with a lot of these tech trends.
Yeah, it's like playing any sport, right? Let's take tennis, for example. The new system or the new technology could be a new racket, right? Or another bolt-on that you like to add, or another add-on. Those are your tennis shoes. But if the player isn't ready for the match, and he's not in good shape, his footwork is weak, his technique is weak, his serve is weak, what's the point? What's the point in buying all that equipment if you can't use it? And that's really the analogy that I have with technology and organization is focus on the player, right? Focus on the player. Do you have the right fitness level? Do you have the right technique? Do you have Do you have the right mentality to play a tennis match and to go through the grind and all that? We focus on that. And then once the player is strong enough, regardless of what technology you choose, the player will adapt to it.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
that's
I
great,
mean,
great analogy.
if I buy racket brand A or racket brand B, but I'm a solid tennis player, I'll still do well on the tennis court.